honky tonk casserole. We're going to start with a couple pounds ground beef. And we're going to throw in a diced up onion as well. And we're going to let all that saute together for a few minutes. Once you got that meat browned up in your grease drain, let's go ahead and add in our taco seasoning to our browned up meat. Get that mixed in there. As you're mixing in your taco seasoning, we're going to go ahead and also add in some Rotel. Make sure you get the one with the diced green chilies in there. Throw in some corn. We drain these. You don't need to drain the Rotel. And some black beans that I drained and rinsed. Get that in there. We're going to stir all that in together. We're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. We've had that simmering for about 5 minutes. So now we're going to throw a brick of cream cheese on there that we've softened up. Get that nice and melted in there. You can also take it off of the heat and just kind of let the natural heat from the skillet take over. All right, we've got the cream cheese nice and melted in there. And now we're going to throw a cup of shredded cheddar cheese into the mix as well. We're saving this other half, another cup, for later in the recipe. But put about a cup shredded cheddar cheese and also get that mixed into your meat mixture. Once you got your cheddar cheese mixed in, we're going to transfer it over to our baking dish. All right, now we're going to pour our meat mixture into our 9x13 baking dish. Hope you're enjoying my daughter's commentary. Live commentary on the recipe. Get that smooth, even over the bottom there. I'll get that nice and smooth on the bottom of our baking dish. And we're going to go over to our bowl here to make our cornbread batter. So we're going to throw in 1 packet of cornbread mix, 1/3 cup of milk. We're throwing 1 egg in there. We're also going to throw in a cup of cheddar. That's what that other cup of cheddar from earlier is for. Throwing it on in here. We're going to get all that mixed together. We get that nice and mixed together. So now we're going to just start spooning some spoonfuls on top of our meat mixture here. Different parts of it. That's right, baby girl. And if it doesn't fully cover, don't worry about it because it's going to expand while it's in the oven. Just try as best you can to kind of cover all the main areas. Get it nice and spread. And then you can kind of spread it around with the bottom of your spoon here. So we got it nice and spread over the top. We have the oven preheated at 375. We're going to throw it in there for 25 to 30 minutes. And this should be ready. Check on this honky tonk casserole. Oh man. That is looking perfect. Oh, that is a banger, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's like a perfect golden brown on top.
Listen to that sizzle.
It smells incredible too. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna let this cool down for a few minutes. We're gonna try it. Let's give this thing a try. Still pretty warm, but I'm ready to dig in. Ooh. That is what I'm talking about right there. And I'm gonna do a bowl for this guy. And then, if you want, this is optional, you can throw some stuff on top. Throw a little sour cream. My wife would not do this part, but I would. So that's up to y'all. And then if you want, you can also throw a little hot sauce on there too. Once again, I think it's probably good as is, but I like throwing some extra fixings on top. So, let's get that mixed together. Pardon my daughter's little noises. She just likes to be part of it. Moment of truth. Y'all, this is super good. Ooh, that just makes my heart happy. Y'all, this is legit good. This is in the top 5 cornbread casseroles I've ever made / I've ever had. The cheesiness, the creaminess, and you got the cornbread on top. If you're looking for something for your next get together, or you got a big old family you're trying to feed, like we do, then this is a go-to. Try it at home, y'all. All right, y'all, today we're gonna make a creamy ranch chicken and rice casserole. We're gonna throw a cup of white rice here on the bottom. And then we're gonna start dumping. We're gonna throw in 2 cups of chicken broth. This is uncooked rice, by the way. Then we're gonna toss in cream of chicken. Get you a little helper here to get it out of there. Dump that in there. Then we're gonna take a packet of ranch seasoning that we're gonna dump in there as well. As well as a cup of sour cream. This whole container going in there. One tablespoon of Duke's mayonnaise, only Duke's, just kidding, kinda. We're gonna throw in 1 cup of cheddar cheese. We're saving some of this cheese for later on. Talk about that later. It's about a cup's worth. I shredded it myself. It seems to melt better when I do that, but if you want to get the bag stuff, that's up to you. Get that all mixed together. It's all kind of distributed throughout it. Especially that ranch seasoning, you want to make sure it's kind of spread all throughout the recipe, so the whole thing's getting it. Once you have it about half stirred, we're going to go ahead and throw in 2 cups of chicken, or 1 rotisserie chicken basically, that I pulled into pieces. You're going to mix all that together. We got it all mixed together. We got the oven preheated to 375. We're going to put it in there with some foil on top for about 40 minutes. I want to cover it real good. Get that rice cooking. Put it in there for 40 minutes at 375. All right, let's check on this thing. Ooh. All righty. So now we're going to take off that tin foil. Ooh, yeah, it smells really good. It smells super good. Give it a little stir. See how that rice is cooking nice and good in there? Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, Meemaw definitely would have loved this one. I know it for sure. My mom is here and she can confirm it. Isn't that right, Mom? Yeah. Once we got that stirred up a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and throw the rest of that cheese. So that's about a cup of cheese that we're gonna throw on top. Once again, I shredded this myself. That's why you got some natural clumpiness going on here. It's good for the soul. Here we go, get it nice spread around best you can. Okay, now that we got that cheese on there, we're gonna throw it back in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Let that cheese get nice and melted on top. All right, let's take a look. Ooh. Oh man, look at that thing. That is some good home cooking right there.
Yum.
That is comfort food right there. I think I'm just gonna dig in. I might have to blow it off for a second, but what do you think?
Yeah, go for it. Oh, look how creamy.
Oh yeah. Mm. Okay. Here we go. Moment of truth. I just feel like Mima would have loved this. I keep thinking about her when I see this dish. Mmm. 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 That is tasty, y'all. That is tasty. That was one of the tastiest casseroles I've made. So simple too. It's like a dump and bake. You literally, I didn't use any other bowls or nothing. Everything you just threw in there. And rice is cooked through, and whew, man, that tastes great. Y'all gotta try it for real. We're gonna make an outlaw onion ring casserole. Get it nice and browned up and get that grease drained. We'll go on to our next part. All right, once you got that meat nice and browned up, we're gonna throw in a packet of onion soup mix, as well as cream of mushroom. Get that all in there, and then we're gonna throw in about a half a cup's worth of sour cream. Making our creamy meat mixture here. Just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Garlic powder. I love garlic, so I'm doing a generous little helping of it. Some salt. And some pepper. And then you just want to get all that nice and mixed together till it's all creamy. All right, now that we got that nice and mixed together, we're going to bring it over to our baking dish. All right, and then we're going to dump it here into our 9x13 baking dish. It's going to be our bottom layer of our casserole here. Get it nice and evenly spread over the bottom. All right, once you got that nice and evenly spread on the bottom there, we're going to throw in about 3 cups worth of tater tots, frozen tater tots, just enough to cover that meat layer there. All right, we got our tot layer on there, nice and spread around. And then we're going to throw 2 cups of cheddar cheese over the top of that. That's a 16-ounce block that my wife shredded up for me.
That's right.
Thanks, sweetie.
Of course. This is her.
I bet. That's a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
All right, get that nice spread over the top of them tater tots. And then last but definitely not least, the main star of our recipe, we're going to throw some onion rings on the top here. If you want, you can get whatever kind you want, but I recommend getting these thick cut. I got some Red Robin ones. You can get whatever kind or brand you want. Pardon all the baby noises that our daughter has joined us for today. All right, we got our final onion ring on the top there. So now we're going to throw it in the oven. We got it preheated to 375. We're going to put it in there for 35 to 40 minutes. And this thing should be just about ready. All right, let's check on this thing. Woo, them things looking crispy and melty and golden and good. I'm loving that oniony smell. Oh, that looks so good. All right, y'all, I'm gonna let this thing cool off so I don't burn my mouth off, and I'm gonna try this thing. All right, let's give this thing a try. Look at that thing. Yum, yum, in my tongue. I can't wait to try this. Okay, I'm just gonna dig right in. Y'all, that is tasty. The onion ring mixed with the meat, with the taters, with the cheese. Oof. If you're looking for a flavorful casserole, ooh, it just packs a good flavor punch. Try this. Trust me, you want to try this at home. Got a sweet and savory masterpiece for y'all today. We're gonna start with a can of apple pie filling, 21 ounces. All right, got that scraped out. Get that spread along the bottom of your 9x13 baking dish. You got that nice and spread around. We're gonna bring over our thin cut pork chops and we're just gonna lie on top of our apples here. Nice. Spread around. Let's get this little guy for right here. Then we're gonna throw our seasonings on top of them pork chops. We got thin cut pork chops, by the way. We got our garlic powder. Throw on there some chipotle pepper. You can also do cayenne if you want to do that. Some salt. And of course, pepper. Like I said, this is going to be an amazing sweet and savory meal for you and the fam. Trust me. All right, once we got the meat on there, we're going to come over here to our mixing bowl. We got some stuffing we're going to throw in there. I got the savory herb mix because that goes pretty well with this. We're going to throw in 1 cup of chicken broth. If you don't have broth on you, you can just throw in some water and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And get those nice and mixed together as best you can. If it still looks slightly dry after mixing it all together, that's okay. It'll cook and moisten up and stuff in the. Once you got that nice and mixed together, we're gonna come back to our pork chops and just spread it over the top. Scrape that thing out. Try to get it evenly spread over the top here. Go. And as a final touch, crushed up some kettle chips. We're just gonna put as a little crusty layer on top. All right, we got our crunchy layer on top there. So now we're gonna just loosely put some foil over the top of it. It doesn't need to be like sealed or anything. We're just kind of loosely over the top. We got the oven preheated to 375. We're gonna put it in there for 35 minutes with the foil on top. And then after 35 minutes, you're gonna wanna go for 10 minutes without the foil. Take the foil off for another 10 minutes. So it's 45 minutes altogether. Let's take this thing out. We put it in 35 with foil and 10 minutes with it uncovered. And here we go. It's looking good. Almost looks like we're coming into summer, which is a tasty time to eat this, but it looks like it could be good for Thanksgiving too, or like a fall, winter.
Look at it sizzling.
But it's tasty year round for sure. So I'm gonna let this cool down for about 5 minutes and we're gonna try it. I think it's time to try this thing. Make sure I get one of them pork chops under there. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
Look at all those layers.
This is like the ultimate sweet and savory. Cut in.
Make sure I get all the things in.
Gotta get all the stuff.
Whoa.
Chips and everything. It makes me think of like a Makes me think of like Thanksgiving dinner with some like pork chops in there. It really is like that perfect mix of sweet and savory. And I actually got my mom here from South Carolina today. Come here, Mom. I'm gonna have my mom try it. I think you might. Here, you got a fork right there. You got a knife right there. You can just cut off my piece. Let's see how Mom likes it.
Yummy.
Don't burn yourself. Oh.
Like Thanksgiving.
You like it really? Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. Tell them what did it taste like to you?
Like Thanksgiving.
Like Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving in the summer. It's a new hit.